In this video, I will show you 3 subjects which every PhD student must take before starting their research and why. If you are only interested in knowing the names of these subjects, I have written here and you are welcome to skip this video. But if you watch this video full, I am confident that you will learn few things. So let's get started after a short break. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Tahir, and if this is your first time, please hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video on this channel every Tuesday and Friday. So before we talk about why you need these subjects, I would like to discuss the coursework. So there are various rules for coursework. Some universities ask you to do the coursework in your first year or even in your second year, and some universities allow you to do the coursework anytime you want. And you can take any subjects. Here in Australia, if you are a PhD student, you can take any subjects whenever you want. I am not a big fan of coursework because in my opinion, it wastes a lot of time. The names of the subject in your coursework might look relevant to your PhD, but in fact you will be wasting time. And having said that, these 3 subjects in my opinion are still very important for you to take during this coursework or during first or second year of your PhD degree. I will be explaining these subjects in this order, but I would like to request you to put in the comments which subject in your opinion is most important, even if it is not listed in this list. So I would appreciate that and I would like to learn something from you. So let's talk about the first subject. So this subject has many names. Sometimes you might find research design, sometimes you might get research design and methods, or research design and methodology. Essentially, the subject is same. When you start your PhD, so how this subject helps you? So when you start your PhD, you have a broad field. Then you do some literature review, what other researchers have done. Then you try to find your research topic. You write a research proposal. Now what you are trying to achieve here? You are trying to formulate your research questions. What questions your research will be answering. For example, why something is happening? What is going on there? What is the relationship between any two factors or any two variables? So these kind of questions are the questions which your research will be answering. So this subject will help you in many ways, and those ways can be summarized in 2 simple sentences. So the first thing is the subject will help you to make a research plan. And the second thing is it will also help you to make a research strategy. Which method to use? There are many methods. Whether you will be doing experiments, whether you will be doing surveys, whether you will be conducting interviews or doing some case studies or using just the historical data. So what you are trying to achieve, how you are going to achieve this. So all this you will learn in this subject. So these 2 important things, how to plan your research and how to choose a method, this you will learn in this subject. You will also learn how to formulate your questions. What questions to ask, for example, if you are conducting surveys, which question you should include in your survey, which experiment you should do, and how to collect data. What is the best method to collect your data? All these questions will be answered by this subject. Your plan, your research methods, your questions, everything related to planning of your research. Now let's talk about the second subject, which is statistics. Now once you get the data, you got some numbers in front of you, a lot of numbers. These numbers have no value until you get the answers to your question. So how to get the answers to your questions? How to prove to someone that you were right? Even if you are wrong, you can still get a degree. Don't worry about that. But how to do that? Statistics will help you to get your answers from the numbers to the answers. Statistics has some very powerful tools. For example, I will start from a very simple example you all are familiar. The power of the normal distribution, the bell-shaped distribution, the variance analysis, linear regression, hypothesis tests, parametric tests, correlation between the variables. So all these powerful tools you will get from statistics. And these tools will help you to get the answers from your data. So before I talk about the last subject, I want to discuss one more thing. That is a small part of a branch of science which is called data science. I'm not a big fan of this big data thing because in my opinion this is just a pile of rubbish. However, I like two very important part of this data science branch. The first part is how you can tell a story from your data. And this is not for you, not for PhD students. This is for those people who are working in the corporate sector. They must know how to tell a story from a data. Now the second part is for you, for PhD students, and that is how to showcase your data. If you have learned statistics with love, with passion, you already know how to showcase your data because this statistic will show you how to showcase your data. But if not, then you can search for this keyword. You will find a lot of videos on YouTube. I might make a video later on this topic, data showcasing. Data showcasing I love the most because this helps you how to present your data in front of researchers, in front of scientists, in front of analysts, in front of engineers. When you are publishing your work, you have to present your data in front of this community. And data showcasing techniques will help you to do this, to present your data in a wonderful way. So therefore, you should learn this as well if you are not a big fan of statistics. Now let's talk about the last subject I have listed here. It's linear algebra. In many situations, when you are doing research, you will end up having some vectors or matrices in front of you. Now, when you are handling vectors or matrices, you will need this subject. This subject is a very complex subject, but the good news is that the basic elements of these subjects are very simple and straightforward. You can easily learn this. Now, for example, in few fields, you end up having a large number of variables which are linearly related to each other. So you get a linear equations, maybe hundreds of linear equations. So in this situation, you can find a functional relationship between them by using linear algebra techniques. There is one very powerful tool in linear algebra which is called SVD, singular value decomposition. This is a technique which almost every researcher uses during their PhD. It's such a powerful technique, and this technique can reduce the complexity of your data. It reduces the redundancy and noise. You can reduce the dimensions of your data. So this SVD can lead to another technique which is called principal component analysis. And that technique is a very powerful technique in machine learning. So this subject is also very important, in particular for engineering related fields. So these were my 3 picks for you. So I hope that you like this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and see you next time.